Real Housewives of Potomac is getting weirder. This was the episode before the season finale. The season finale is going to be next week, and it's going to be, I guess, a whole Karen interview, which I don't want to see. Look, I'm glad that the Grand Dame is back in town and that she's, out of jail and stuff, but I don't want to see a whole hour of Karen. I just don't. Because I'm still feeling some kind of way about Karen and the whole Wendy thing. I don't understand why Karen has such a big issue with Wendy. Obviously, it's something going on behind the scenes. But I just don't like this whole tone of people are automatically now on Karen's side. And I'm sure Karen is going to participate in throwing Wendy under the bus when it comes to everything that Wendy and Happy Eddie is going through with the insurance fraud and all that kind of stuff. I just don't like that. I don't like the flip-floppiness of it all. It's just something about a strong, confident, beautiful, accomplished woman wrapped up in chocolate skin that people just have an issue with. And that's really what it boils down to, because a lot of this stuff don't make any sense. It can only be that. Colorism will always be a part of the Potomac franchise. It just will be. It's as clear as day. But anyway, getting back on this trip, Giselle pretty much tried to take over the trip. Angel stood up for herself, and she was just like, no, we're not going to take over the trip like that. So, but Giselle got it arranged for the ladies to go to the Four Seasons. I'm glad, because it was finally being able to take a bath and all that stuff, child. It was a mess. I do feel bad for Angel. I think that in Angel's head, she had it all together, but in reality, it just wasn't. It wasn't set up properly. Something went awry. But this is also on the producers. The producers also arranged this. The producers pay for the trips. So it's just, I feel like it's more, everything is not Angel's fault, but Angel's going to take the blame for it because she can't say, oh, it's the producer's fault, right? But personally, you could just tell that Angel she was trying to get to know them, but it was just too early for her to do a cast trip on her own. And she don't really like them anyway, and I don't blame her because they've been treating her awful. So I wouldn't have invited them anywhere, to be honest. But yeah, we're gonna see what the reunion gives. I always say every housewife deserves a second season, and I believe that Angel should be there for her second season. Now, and I guess Tia too, even though Tia kind of fell off. I like Tia, but what else is going on? Giselle's being her nasty self as usual. They showed the ending scenes of Giselle. Giselle, she lost the fight with her dad's estate. Apparently her dad remarried, I think, to a white lady. And Giselle and her siblings is not getting a dime. So karma's everything. You take all this time to take down other people, Giselle, when you should have been paying attention to that, and look what happened to you. God don't like ugly, and he ain't too particular about pretty. So, let me see. I'm just praying for Wendy, child. They could face up to 15 years. That's crazy. Just Ashley's writing a children's book. Giselle, Ashley, don't nobody want no children's book from you. Oh. So, what else is going on? The ladies, they stop at a gas station to eat and use the bathroom, child. This whole episode, Angel was on the road. Angel, Kay, and Tia. See, they kind of messed up on time because they went back to the Four Seasons. But Angel, Kay, and Tia, remember, they stayed in Tia's house. So they had to go back and get their luggage because the next day they were going to the airport. And then Angel stayed 2 hours away from the Four Seasons. It's just all the timing of it all. It just wasn't planned out properly. So they stayed back at Angel's house and got some sleep. Then got back on the road, realized they was going the wrong way the whole time. It was, child, poor Angel. They done showed everybody storylines. Stacey and Jazzy got into it, and Angel was still on the road 4 hours later. Praying for Angel. what else was going on? Jazzy and Stacey got into it, child, and Wendy kind of spearheaded it. Well, Stacey, she brought up, she didn't like how Jazzy was conversating with Sharice when Sharice was giving it to Stacey, calling her all kind of hookers and auras, and she didn't like that. So Jazzy was just like, "What am I supposed to do, girl?" And then Stacey brought up the fact that Jazzy apparently records conversations and reports back to the other group, and you know, she's basically trying to make alliances so that she can remain on the show, blah blah blah. Jazzy brought up the fact that it's true that you didn't want to come to my wedding unless until you found out that Ashley and Wendy was coming to my wedding. You weren't gonna go. And so basically you used me as a friend of convenience. When nobody else fooling with you, I was. So that's you trying to bring me into the circle because you didn't have any other friends at the time. I think a little bit of everything could be true. I just hate that Jazzy and Stacey is falling out in particular. There is something about Stacey, as much as I like her, there is something about Stacey that gives me, I'm going to get close to the people that I deem valuable. And you don't do people like that just because Jazzy is a friend of the show. But we'll see. We'll see what it really gives. I enjoy Stacey. I think that she is the MVP of this season. But I don't like how the whole thing has went down with her and Jazzy. Not saying Jazzy is completely innocent, but in my opinion, from what we saw, I'm leaning more towards on Jazzy's side in this particular situation when it comes to Jazzy versus Stacey. When it comes to Stacey versus Giselle, Stacey versus Monique, Stacey versus Ashley, I'm Team Stacey. Now, what else is going on? I think that was it, y'all. I think that was it. It was just a mess. Angel had prepared a whole nice dinner, luncheon thing for them. They was going to fly fish, and they just never made it. They had a whole chef out there preparing stuff. It was sad. It was sad to see the downfall of the Colorado trip. But yeah, Potomac is over with, y'all. We got one more episode in the reunion. I'm excited. I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at Eskins on Instagram and Twitter, at Eskins89 on Snapchat, Chase King on Facebook, Mr. Chalaki on Cash App, PayPal, TikTok, and as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned. I'll see you guys later. Bye.